Yes, team, what is going on? My name is Tom, and welcome to Understanding the Mind. The reason I've made this video is because 1 minute people are locked in, and the next minute they sabotage themselves. Even after they promise themselves they wouldn't do that thing that they know is bad for them. It's not random, it is your mind. And until you understand how your mind really works, you will stay stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same results over and over. But this video is going to show you why and how to fix it forever. And if you can't give me 10 minutes of your time and your undivided attention with zero notifications to master the force that drives your life, then honestly, you do deserve to fail. So lock in, full screen, no distractions. Let's get it. So what we're going to discuss today is the mind isn't what you think. The conscious mind, the subconscious mind, neuroscience 101, the self-image and the identity, belief systems 101, real reprogramming, and then actionable steps that you can take after this video to fix your mind. First of all, you need to understand this. Your mind is like a factory. And in a factory, the machines make products. The machine is the body, the materials are your thoughts, and the product is your results. So what goes in must come out. And until you change the materials, also known as your mindset, it's impossible for the product, also known as your results, to change. So what is your mind? Think of a red Ferrari. That's your conscious mind. It's what you're thinking about right now, but the subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your thinking, runs in the background. It stores memories, habits, and automatic responses. Think of it as the storage drive of your entire life. The results you have today are simply a reflection of what's been living in your subconscious mind and the thoughts that you've been having. And if you want new results, you can't just wish for them. You can't just put them down on a piece, write that goal down on a piece of paper. You need to rewire your subconscious. You don't attract the results that you want. You attract what you are. And what you are is your subconscious programming. And once you change that, everything changes. Now, the two sides of your mind. And this is just the beginning, trust me. The conscious and the subconscious. So the conscious, it observes, analyzes your thoughts and environment. It applies logic, reasoning. It focuses your attention and uses willpower. It's for learning new skills and processing new information. And it also programs the subconscious. The subconscious stores and automates your thoughts, emotions, behaviors. 95% of what you do today, you'll probably do tomorrow. It runs your habits, your beliefs, your internal identity. 95% of your decisions and actions automatically. It responds emotionally and not logically. It does not think, it reacts. Okay. So understand the conscious. Every thought you repeat, every emotion that you feel deeply, every belief that you accept, all of it gets recorded by your subconscious. It shapes your identity, your self-image, your habits, your automatic responses. And what enters through the conscious becomes the programming that runs your life. For example, when it comes to learning something new, at first, your conscious mind struggles. Like driving a car. At first, your mind's trying to do 10 things at once. But after enough repetition, your subconscious will make all of those decisions for you. And that's why growth feels hard at first. But with repetition, your subconscious accepts new ideas as true. It becomes your new normal. And by practicing new thoughts and actions, you rewrite the code that drives you. And that's when your life changes. Because 95% of your power lies in the subconscious. Guide the conscious and let the subconscious guide itself. So now we want to really understand the subconscious. The subconscious, it runs your life. It stores everything you've ever seen, felt, or experienced. What you feed, it becomes your reality. Your conscious goals mean nothing. If your subconscious says, nah, that's not happening, that's not who I am, that's not my self-image, that's my identity. And that's why you sabotage yourself. That's why you procrastinate. And the good news is you can actually reprogram this. And I'm going to teach you how. Repetition, reflection, new habits, new choices. Neuroscience 101. So your brain, obviously, is a very complex organ, but I've tried to simplify it so anybody can understand it. So the prefrontal cortex is the CEO of the brain. It's the command center for your conscious thought. It's in the front of the brain. It runs decision-making, focus, planning, and self-control. And every time you analyze a problem, resist temptation, you make a choice, or make a choice. And right now you're using your prefrontal cortex to study this video and focus on it. Then we've got the basal ganglia. very deep in the brain. It runs your routines, it automates your life. When you repeat an action enough, it shifts from the conscious effort to the subconscious autopilot. You get in your car, you drive without thinking, and that's your basal ganglia executing the script. The amygdala, this is the emotional alarm system. It scans for threats, it triggers fears, anger, defense, all before your logical brain can even wake up. It's great for survival, but it's not always great for modern life. For example, someone criticizes you, you snap back instantly, and that's your amygdala reacting faster than your reason. Then we've got the DMN, the default mode network, which is almost like your subconscious flow. It's the background mind, a network that switches on when your mind is at rest. For example, daydreaming, wondering, drifting. It's where the subconscious flow happens, creativity, reflection, and hidden connections. It's the moment in the shower. That's your default mode network working silently in the background. Now, getting to even more good advanced stuff regarding the mind. The self-image. So this muscular man in the mirror, is looking at his old self, who's obviously looking skinny, but mentally he sees himself still as skinny, and that's a trap that the self-image can have. Because I see many bodybuilders have this, body dysmorphia, maybe is the name for it. They experience the same problem. What they see in the mirror is never enough. And what you've got to understand is, if you want to change how you see yourself, you've got to change how you see yourself inside first. Because obviously in the photo here, as you can see, he's clearly got good back muscles, but in the mirror he looks really skinny, and that's a representation of what he thinks he looks like. And it's the way your self-image, basically, it's the way you see yourself in your mind. It's not based upon facts, but on the beliefs that you've built from past experiences, thoughts, and emotions. The inner image silently guides your behavior every single day. If deep down you believe you're lazy, unworthy, or average, you'll unconsciously act in ways that enforce that story, even if it isn't reality. But if you believe that you're disciplined, strong, capable, your actions naturally will reflect that identity, because your self-image, it's shaped over time, but it first started when you was in childhood with what you experienced, what you were told, and what you came to believe. And moments of failure, judgment, or rejection, stuff like that, they all have emotional imprints that shape who you are. And here's the truth: we don't act according to who we want to be. We act according to who we believe we are. And that's why people struggle with consistency, because they try and build new habits on top of an old identity, when deep down they still see themselves as unmotivated, weak, or not good enough. And no matter how many goals they set, the old self-image pulls them back like gravity. So to change your results, you must first change the image that you hold of yourself. Wow, you guys have learned a lot so far. So belief systems. All things are possible to him who believes. So this mind map here is a good indicator of how the belief system works. So people have belief systems about everything, but I've broken them down into important belief systems. For example, a business belief system. Business is just many other things. Same way a kitchen is many other things. A kitchen is a fridge, a sink, an oven, plates. So it's all these many things that actually make it a kitchen. It's the same with a business. So business is, sales, marketing, leadership, team building, product, service, so on. But inside of all these sub-beliefs, we have sub-beliefs. For example, what is sales? So all sales is meeting new people, persuading people, group speaking, closing deals, handling rejection. What's marketing? Audience and niche, content creation, funnels and offers, ads and paid traffic, messaging people, and branding, so on. So you've got to have positive beliefs regarding all these things, or your business will not flow correctly and you will be literally putting a stop sign on your income. So obviously that's why alignment is everything. And once you audit your belief system, which I'm going to make another video on at some point, you'll be able to understand what I'm going on about. And your belief system is essentially, it's a web of thoughts, assumptions, or emotional truths that you've accepted, often without questioning them. Whether true or not, your subconscious treats them all as real, shaping how you think, feel, and act. And if your beliefs don't support your goals, your actions will not either. Align the belief first, and the behavior will follow, because the mind always seeks to justify what it believes. New results do not come from better strategies alone. They come from better beliefs. Beliefs shape identity. Identity drives behavior, and behavior creates results. Now, moving on to reprogramming the mind. Reprogramming the mind means intentionally changing your inner patterns, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors so they align with the life that you actually want. Every thought you repeat and every emotion you feel sends a signal to your subconscious, and over time, that input becomes habit, self-image, and automatic behavior. Earlier, I said your mind works like a factory. Thoughts go in, results come out. Beliefs, emotions, and ideas are the raw materials. Keep feeding it the same inputs, and you'll keep getting the same outputs. Reprogramming is about changing the input and redesigning the process. So if you upgrade the machine, brackets your habits, you retrain the workers, bracket your beliefs. And the factory starts to begin to produce different results. So let's sum it all up, right? So a minute ago I spoke about belief systems, probably one of the most important parts of your mind. Let's go deep into these and write a couple of positive beliefs. So for example, sales. People have beliefs about rejection. So, a negative rejection means, if someone says no, it means I'm not good enough. If someone says no, it means I should stop what I'm doing. If someone says no, my thing isn't working. They are not supportive beliefs. But if I believe that, every no brings me to a yes, rejection builds resilience, rejection is part of every success story, rejection gives me feedback, I'm going to pursue opportunities to get rejected because I know it leads to yeses, okay? So you can't have yeses without no's. And the belief is going to completely affect the action that I'm going to take. And once you've audited all your beliefs, you want to record them in your own voice and play them on repeat for 30 days right before you fall asleep, where your mind and your subconscious is most rewirable. And that's how you rewire your mind. And it takes time. At first it's going to be very uncomfortable. But if you want direct advice or would like to learn how I built a six-figure business, check the description. Let's meet over a Zoom call. But this is how the mind works. My name is Tom Roberts. Peace out.